What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Today, we're going to be doing my full review for the Takcom Grunt. Let's get into it. All right, what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to do some size comparison, profile, weight, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions of the Takcom Grunt. Let's go ahead and start with a couple of budget knife comparisons. Here it is against the Migron Moyarl and against the Civivi Bull Tusk. I know I'm using folders, guys. That's just because right now I don't have a ton of OTFs in my inventory, but I will do the two that I do have here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and move the Moyarl out of the way and grab the Spyderco Para 3 lightweight, and we'll move the Bull Tusk out of the way and grab the Spyderco Shaman. There you can see this is definitely more full size in comparison. And as you can see, as I mentioned, more comparable to the Shaman. Let's go ahead and do a couple of quick profile comparisons. I am going to bring the other OTFs out here in a little bit, but you can see the thickness here is very comparable to the Shaman. And then we'll grab that Bull Tusk again. Very comparable to the Bull Tusk as well. I know the chamfered scales do make it a little bit harder to detect, but very comparable. And let me just grab the weight really quick, guys. All right, making sure that's zeroed out. 4.5 ounces, so very good weight for the Takcom Grunt. Let me go ahead and jump into my thoughts and impressions of the Grunt. Ergonomically, I really like this a lot. It's very comfortable, very thin. It feels very well built. Best Tech did a very good job OEing this for Takcom. The only complaint that I have is I do feel the edges on the seatbelt cutter opening a little bit, so it does kind of grab a little bit there, but I'm not anywhere close to catching on that blade for the seatbelt cutter. It's just I can feel it poking a little bit back there. So it does feel nice. It is very radiused, and it does have this knurling on here and milling lines down here, so lots of stuff to grip onto. I like that a lot. I wish this was knocked down a little bit, or I wish there could have been some type of way. I mean, I guess that kind of would defeat the purpose. I'm not a first responder, so I don't know. But I wish there could have been a way just to maybe slide something to close it and fill this gap. I think it's a beautiful OTF, and I think it works really well without that on there. Or, you know, if you can't put something to close it, maybe you could slide. Maybe there's some way you could do like a slide or something like that, or a filler tab that connects to this bolt here. I don't know if any of that is possible. I love the fact that they didn't put the glass breaker on there, but instead opted to go for the lanyard. Very comfortable pocket clip, works very well. I appreciate the fact that they made this reversible for lefties, so you guys out there who are left-handed can take full advantage of the Grunt. Let's run down really quick to the cut test in the garage. All right, we're in the garage. We have the Takcom Grunt, guys. And I honestly was using this to break down some cardboard yesterday. And I realized it as I got in just a little ways. So it's not super factory fresh, but I have a feeling M390 Best Tech should be good to go. I hope. Not sure why I got hung up there unless I was close to the choil, but seems like it's pretty good. We have single ply cardboard here, and I'm not gonna lie, yesterday when I started to use it, it was moving through the cardboard quite nicely. Oops, I went into the sharpening tool, guys. Let's go. And at the end, it's got a little double up there. So this will be a nice little test. Feels very comfortable in hand. Oops, as I go into the sharpening tool. And then let's just check real quick. Nice factory grind, man. Look at that. Wow. Oops. A little close to the hand, so I didn't want to chance it too much. But through the cardboard, on the cutting board a little bit. Let's just see what the edge looks like. It's getting hung up somewhere there. Getting hung up somewhere. Where is it getting hung up at? Right there at the midpoint. It's not super rough, but it does feel a little jagged. So let's just real quick take a strop and see if it makes any difference, guys. Yeah, okay. So after the strop, it feels like it has plenty of bite, and it definitely feels like it's moving through the paper much better now. So I don't know. Sometimes with these cardboard tests, and I had that double piece, I don't know what they use to glue it down or what it's like, but I'm happy. I like this one a lot. I'm going to kick it back up to the table. So as you can see, mine, the edge from the factory was just a tiny bit wonky. It was tearing a little bit, but it performed very well. At the end, it seemed like I chipped something. On this one, I decided to go ahead and just put my own edge on it. I really like this a lot, and since it does have the seatbelt cutter, I actually was looking to upgrade my vehicle knife. All right, now I have some old ratty Tucson that I haven't even maintained in a long time because I forget it's in the car for emergencies. But I think I have like a flashlight pin that's kind of quick access for me in front of my glove box. I think this would be really good for that. There's a lot of applications where I could see like maybe I want to get into something and it's a little tough to wiggle. It's not that bad, but you know, it's more inconvenient to wiggle to kind of get down into the pocket to open like a piece of mail or something that I may have gotten or grabbed when I was in the car, or if my wife wants me to cut a tag off or something like that, I can grab this and easily do it, especially now that OTFs are legal here in the state of Virginia. You know, my biggest complaint is just the seatbelt cutter. I think without the seatbelt cutter, this is very beautiful. It's so comfortable in hand. The finishes on it are very nicely done. But I get like OTFs, first responders, military, things like that. This is something that's very useful. So I get why it's on there, and I'm not going to harp too much on that. It's very interesting price too. It's coming in at $230, which is actually competitive with the live wire. You're getting M390, the live wire, you're getting Magna Cut. I don't know that either company has stellar or superb heat treats on there, but this one here has a very good blade, nice and tall, beautiful stonewash finish on there, fairly thin and slicey. Very good action. I love the button on here. The switch works good, sounds good. Fires hard. It has a very, I would call it a 6 to overcome and a 5 to close, maybe even a 7. Yeah, I would call it a 7 to overcome and like a 6 to close. You can choke up. When I was actually cutting downstairs, I actually choked up a little bit here to get a little closer, and I had a little bit more control. And actually, when I choked up, I no longer felt the seatbelt cutter. I would say if you have medium to large hands, you're not going to feel that seatbelt cutter at all. And again, it's poking. It's not cutting or anything in, but you can kind of see where it's leaving like some indentions there. So that's kind of my only complaint. If you're going to have it and you can't do like a little slide in thing, just, you know, chamfer this or radius this to match what's on the back here. And I think that'll work really well. The other alternatives that I'm going to bring out here, if you don't like the seatbelt cutter and you prefer the glass breaker, I actually like the Chimera from Takcom. It's a really good comparison, really comfortable ergonomics. You got really cool milling lines here that add to ergos and confidence with your grip. It has the same switch. I got mine hollow ground, but it actually had a pretty useful blade in all fairness coming from the factory. And the other one that I really like for everyday carry, if you don't like either one of those things and you just want a little lanyard spot, is going to be the Guardian Tactical Recon 035. It is a little bit smaller, but there's no wasted space. I get all 4 fingers on here. It's very comfortable to use, good size, good weight, very good firing mechanism. I would call this like, this one's definitely broken in. This would be more of like a 5 to a 6 to overcome both ways. It feels the same both ways. Very easy to fire. Decent flat grind. It is thinner out on the tip, so you have more of an acute point for detailed work, and then you have more strength here for your power cutting. So just keep that in mind with these comparisons. but I really like this one. I think the price point is really awesome. You get a full-size knife, and you do get the bonus of a seatbelt cutter. You know, you don't want to worry about slipping out of a cut. When you have something like a seatbelt cutter, you're going to be able to slide the belt in, and you're going to be able to just rip it right across. You're not have to worry about accidentally cutting anything. You may be sweating, you may already be bleeding a little bit, and all this, you know, everything that locks you into place on this is going to do the same for the seatbelt cutter. So when you go in and you grab it and you pull it, and I'm going to demonstrate here, when you pull at it, if it's coming across like this, you can either, I would imagine you're going to want to hook it and pull away from yourself. And actually it would work really good like this, because it leaves just enough space. Let me show you here on this. My camera on my phone's a little bit better. Leaves just enough space to kind of get in there, and you can go down just a little bit further and grab it and hook it on there. So actually I am going to throw this. I'm going to throw this in the car. I think this is going to be really nice for the car. I really like this a lot. It would be good competition for the Livewire. I really do believe that. Let me know what your thoughts are on this particular one. I have a feeling a lot of you can't have OTFs. 1, 2, probably are not going to be able to get past the seatbelt cutter. You probably would say that you prefer the glass breaker to the seatbelt cutter, and I get that, because you can remove the seatbelt. I mean, you can remove the glass breaker and put something low profile to secure the pocket clip on something like this, as opposed to being able to avoid the seatbelt cutter. You're not going to be able to do that with this one, especially because the pocket clip lands right in the way of being able to do anything to kind of get rid of that or hide that. Let me know your thoughts and impressions. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about this one. Shout out to everyone out there that likes, uses the links, comments, and is subscribed. I love you guys, and I appreciate all the support. Shout out to my members. You're getting early access to see this one before everyone else. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.